everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Nonsense Zone, episode 11. Yeah, 11. Right there is Lenny Bruce.
Wait. Yep.
Right there. Lenny Bruce. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Lenny Bruce!
I'm not worthy.
And I'm Andy Biggs. It's a rough crowd.
Andy.
It's a rough crowd.
It's all that bird talk from last episode.
Probably what it is. Yeah, I ruffled some feathers.
He did ruffle some feathers.
Yes, this is going to be a great show.
Let's cut it off there.
Yeah,
we're not going to be able to top. We're not going to top that.
No, it's over. We'll just. Well, I already lost it. See? Yep. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So we got a show to do. Let's do that show.
Fire in the hole.
I promised everybody 2 movie reviews this week. And I'll start off with Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom. So I traveled out to... in our general area where we live, we have the small independent movie theater. And then you can travel a little bit and you can go to the big... the big theaters and fancier theaters, whatnot. And I gotta say, to our 3 listeners, please start going to the movies again, because movie numbers are down so much from COVID, and then it just started to recover, and then where people were going back to the movies, and then the writer's strike happened, and then right after that the actor's strike happened, and so these. And it's affecting me, because now when I go to the movies, I have to sit through commercials, not movie previews. I love movie previews. I have to sit through Preparation H commercials, when I'm at the movie theater.
The applicator.
They are at the book suppository.
Oh, make it 2.
Yeah. So no. But yeah. So I think. Movie theaters are kind of hurting these days, and they're having to sell ad space, and it's making me have to watch commercials before the movies. And I would hate to think of the time when there's no more movies. Where they just all the movies go directly to your TV and you can just watch them and stuff like that. I love going to the movies.
I know you do, Andy. I know you do.
I go to the movies by myself. I went to the movies by myself this weekend.
Now, did you have any Tylenol? Did you have a box of Tylenol while you watched?
No, I did. So Len and I had this debate again. Well, we talked about it a couple episodes ago about candy. Oh. I love Mike and Ike's. Oh. Len sent me a picture of some rapid release Tylenol.
Tylenol gel caps.
Gel caps. So that those were basically the original flavor of Mike and Ike's.
Oh poor Andy.
Andy. So there was a deal where you buy a T-shirt and you get not just a bucket, but a pail of popcorn. Ooh. So I bought a Ghostbusters T-shirt and I got the popcorn, and I barely put a dent in it. I mean, there was so much popcorn.
You should have just did the toss after on the movie, an encore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how was the movie?
And then I had sweet tart ropes. All right.
Andy.
So no, the movie. I say the movie was pretty funny. Had some nice throwbacks to the original. The special effects were awesome. I'm saying every word. So.
Any nudity?
No, Bill Murray got naked.
Did he?
So the new characters that are the focal point of the last 2 movies. I kind of like the new characters, so that's a perk. You don't always feel that way about these. It's not really a spin-off, and it's not really a reboot, but it's just a new generation. And Paul Rudd's in it. He's good. I feel I was going to say, I feel like the first Ghostbusters, the very original 1984 Ghostbusters, was like lightning in a bottle. It's awfully hard to recapture that. And then the second movie, it was okay. It had its moments. I don't dislike Ghostbusters 2. And then Ghostbusters Afterlife comes by many years later, and it was as close as you can come to that lightning in a bottle again, because it kind of pulled at your emotional stream, got me invested. It was like, this did not capture lightning in a bottle. This was just, it was a fun movie. I recommend watching it, but there's nothing memorable. I feel like you know, I just saw it on Saturday. Today's Monday. I already don't really remember much of what happened in the movie. I just remember it was a good time, but nothing great. I give it a 3 out of 5. So
how now, like the original cast, they just make a cameo, or
they were in it a little bit more than they were in the last one. Ray, Dan Aykroyd, somewhat of a main character. Bill Murray just showed up a couple times briefly. Ernie Hudson, who plays Winston, he was in it a little bit more. So he's he's the I think they touched base on it in the first one, that he basically is wealthy now. So
he's a fella. He's a fella, yeah.
He's funding it all now. So yeah.
Who cares?
Nah, fuck it. Piece of shit movie.
Waste of time.
Commercials.
This is stupid.
No, just okay. It was, you know, a fun movie, you know, but nothing memorable.
Now hit me with the next one, Andy. I'm looking forward to what you got to say about this.
Lenny, the next movie I saw was The New Roadhouse.
Yeah.
I gotta say, so Lenny kind of screwed this up for me. I never, after talking about it on the show and talking about it in person, I never dreamed that Len would. I mean, he's as much as said that he'll never watch this movie.
Stupid.
So I had this whole plan. Even if the movie was a giant piece of shit, I was going to come in here and I was going to say, "This is the greatest fucking movie I've ever seen," and then I was just going to brag it up. Len texts me Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. I'm watching Roadhouse.
I couldn't help it.
You ruined my plan. Why do I even make plans?
I could only tolerate almost half, not quite half of it. So I didn't watch it in entirety.
So, you know, I'm going to say this movie was so good that I don't think we'll ever see Patrick Swayze on the big screen again. I think he's just going to talk. No more.
That's it, eh?
Can't compete with this. No more. I feel like Jake Gyllenhaal should remake all of Patrick Swayze's movies.
Especially Ghost.
I think Ghost, Dirty Dancing, Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for the Memories, Julie Newmar.
Thank you.
The Outsiders, Point Break.
Point Break.
Should just do them all. Just do them all.
Yeah, with a red wig on.
No,
what was your take?
I liked it. I went into it with a very negative attitude. I was just like, this is going to be something that I'm going to pick on. This is going to be just like another one of those remakes of a classic where they just, you know, disappoint terribly. And I'm going to say I was very pleasantly surprised. As remakes go, it's the classic big risk is that you're going to go into it like me, like Len, with a hostile audience, you know, that we're more annoyed that they're remaking this movie. I feel like even going into it with that attitude, it was a really good movie.
Oh no, Andy!
Yeah. Conor McGregor, the UFC fighter, he played a really excellent, unhinged psychopath character. Brought some laughs. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal played the character kind of low key, but he had a nice little personality. Added that to it. I feel like the acting was better in this movie than the original. I feel like the story had more depth to it than the original.
Andy!
This was better than the original Roadhouse, Lenny.
Oh, Andy.
It's better.
Andy!
And it seems like they're setting it up for a sequel.
Oh, no.
It does kind of seem like that's a possibility, which not a lot of people realize this, but the original had a sequel, and it was god awful. Yeah, well, Patrick Swayze wasn't in it.
Oh, I do think I kind of remember.
His son
like
is centered around his son. Somebody killed Patrick Swayze's character in the sequel, and they show Patrick Swayze's character as a guy with a ponytail, and he was just like fat and overweight, and you only see him from the back.
Dalton, they picked some fat guy to play Dalton from behind.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the movie that disrespected the original. I don't feel so when it comes to, and I don't know why this stuck with me. You remember the George Michael song "Faith"?
Mm-hmm.
Just a decent, catchy little riff on the guitar.
Yep.
Yes. So Limp Bizkit in the early 2000s created their version of Faith. And it was like and I thought, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. All right, And then I heard, well, of course, Fred Durst was the lead singer, and he came out and he said, yeah. And I thought, oh, you must be a fan of the original. He's like, in the interview, he says, no, it's this song. I heard this song from the 80s, and I thought, what? That is the dumbest fucking song I've ever seen. And I'm just going to make this song, so I'm completely mocking it in every way. And of course, Fred Durst is kind of an asshole anyways. But, and so that's kind of like what I always worry about, like when there's a remake. I'm like, oh, are these guys going to come in with that Fred Durst attitude of like, yeah, I made this movie just to rip it apart, And I feel like this movie wasn't made that way. I feel like it kind of put its own stamp on it. And
did you see the Double Deuce restaurant? The Double Deuce Cafe?
It wasn't the Double Deuce. It was just called the Roadhouse.
No, but next to the bookstore, there was a little diner called the Double Deuce.
Oh, pay attention, you fool! Didn't even catch that. Sorry.
Well,
sorry.
I won't give my boring snap on the whole thing.
No, go for it, Len. I would like to hear your take.
I don't know. I'm too much of a Patrick Swayze fan. I just think that
he's dead.
They could have named the movie anything, in my opinion. They didn't have to name it Roadhouse. I just think they could have changed his name to Bill, and it could have been called The Bouncer or something. But I don't know. It wasn't horrible, but to me, it was your typical business owner owns a business, bad guy wants to buy it, owner doesn't want to sell movie. But
One Crazy Summer, basically the same.
So
the old John Cusack movie.
I wouldn't not watch the rest of it. It was one of them. It was one of them flicks. So I don't know if I would have called it Roadhouse, but I was a big fan of the way Patrick Swayze, his personality was in the first one. He was more calm, cool, lack of words type of guy, where this Jake Cat's a little more chipper, smiley than Patrick Swayze was. As the other young bouncers are dragging somebody out, he's all smiles and happy about the situation. But like I said, to me, they could have named it anything. It didn't have to be Roadhouse, but it's also not a horrible. I didn't think it. That being said,
there was good humor.
I got to watch the whole thing, I guess. I mean, I only watched about halfway. So,
did you see any of Conor McGregor in there?
Yeah, I saw him naked ass, and then I saw just maybe about a half an hour and past that. But I didn't see him. I didn't see them come face to face yet.
See, I thought he was going to be the annoying character. I was like, oh, really, Conor McGregor? No, I thought he was pretty funny, actually.
He was naked and afraid.
He was naked and afraid.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, piss off, Andy. I thought I was a real piece of shit.
Better than the original.
You idiot! Don't you say it again.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
So, Andy.
So I won't. 4.5 would put it in like one of my all-time favorite categories. I'm not giving it that much credit.
Ooh, don't do it.
I really enjoyed it. 5 is like my Hall of Fame, and I rarely put movies in that 5 category. But I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites. No, but I thought it was really good.
Right on.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the audience is getting out of control now. So, so I just wanted to touch base on. I did a trivia night recently, last Thursday, and it turned out really well from a fundraising standpoint. Previously, the most I'd ever raised for somebody, and these are all charity events, was $1,200, and this time I raised $2,800, or we raised $2,800, and it was what's that?
Kudos.
Thank you. It was more of the people that were there, though. Like, we had people that did that were running an auction for us. One of my co-hosts for the night, and a friend of mine, they ran this auction between rounds, and there was some really nice stuff that was donated, but like stuff that, this basket here probably had about $35 worth of stuff in it that you could have. And people, knowing that it's a charity event, they were like bidding $100 on it, and like, stuff like that. So that was it's more of a how generous the people in the crowd were than anything. And I will say, I let AI write my questions and answers, and that was a huge mistake. So many wrong answers. AI is dumb.
Any did you auction off any semen samples?
Those were sold out back.
Oh, hot off the press.
Under the table. Yeah. Had to be fresh. Yeah.
We're just waiting for Tom here. He's almost done.
But I will say, and it's kind of like leading me to the next segment of this, is I had a category that I sponsored. Our show sponsored it, and it was a nonsense category. And it was that one was specifically, and I prefaced it by saying I don't expect anybody to get any of these right. People did get them right, but it was multiple choice. So, there's a lot of guessing. Some people did actually know some of them. But anyways, it was the most fun category of the night because it was nonsense. And so in that regard, I have some facts for us, Len.
Ooh, I love it.
Some fun facts.
So they're facts.
These are facts. These have been, and they've been vetted, and they're accurate. And so maybe we'll learn something today.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. Like, for instance, did you know that platypuses, they sweat milk?
Oh, gross.
Yeah, I think we went to school with a guy that did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The platypus. We called him the platypus, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Without the plata?
Did you know that Captain Crunch's full name is Horatio Magellan Crunch?
Oh, now there's a fact.
I might have to start eating Captain Crunch again now that I know, out of respect.
And it's Cap'n.
Cap'n Crunch, yes. And actually, it's spelled that way too. And here I read it wrong. Yeah, it's Cap'n. My mistake.
Horatio? What is it? Horatio?
Horatio Magellan Crunch.
What an idiot. I don't like him now. No, if he just doesn't go by Cap'n, forget it. No. And you got to have the crunch berries. You have to have the crunch berries.
No, without the crunch berries, it's just...
Then he's Horatio.
Horatio.
Hey, where the fuck are the berries? Get out of my house.
Comets. The shoot.
Haley's comet?
Yeah. Comets smell like rotten eggs.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
There should be one in every household.
So did my car after that one trip that we made. That you kept crop dusting me between Canton and Potsdam.
There was a comet in that car for the solid 12 to 14 minute ride.
I was hanging my head out the window.
It was laughing gas too.
I could have died. Yeah.
I think we laughed and huffed it the whole way. That was great.
Yeah. Took $1,000 off the trade-in value.
You betcha.
Yeah. Buzz Lightyear. Are you familiar with Buzz Lightyear?
Yep, I know Buzz.
Buzz Lightyear's name originally wasn't Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, no.
It was Lunar Larry.
Lunar? Wait, what did I used to say? Oh, man. I had that phrase wrong, too.
Yeah. Instead of Infinity and Beyond, or To Infinity and Beyond, man, I wish I could remember what you used to say.
It wasn't Up and Away, but no, I forget what I used to say.
It was along those lines, though. It was.
Yeah, it was way off. But at least we didn't nickname anybody for life. Horatio.
Yeah. I tested this one too. This next one. It is impossible to hum while holding your nose.
Huh. You tried it.
All three of our listeners are trying right now.
Don't you kind of close your nose off while you hum, though?
Yeah. I think the essence being that you need.
Oh, you kind of got. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you're
yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah. That's quite the fact.
It is that is quite the fact. Yes.
I probably would have lost a bet though, not really thinking it through. I would have said I could hum, but you got to hum through your nose.
Right. No, I thought that
I got
was
nose.
like you do have a nose.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
smell you from here, Andy.
That was one of those ones that I saw it and I was like, nah, that one can't be true.
Yeah.
So
You tried it.
I tried it.
What other factoid you got there?
A lot of allodoxiophobia. Allodoxiophobia. I think it's the fear of other people's opinions.
Oh no. No.
I might actually have that.
Maybe depending on the day, yeah.
I watch the local news and there's a segment where they're like your thoughts, and I'm always like, and I always say this to my wife. I was like, the last thing I want to know is anybody's fucking opinion.
Yeah. But, like Horatio. What's Horatio think about all this?
Yeah, Horatio, it turns out he doesn't even like the crunch berries. He just gave in. You can put the crunch berries in. Yeah, my first name's Horatio.
Piss off, Horatio.
Horatio!
Oh, yeah. You got to go with the O at the end.
Oh.
Nice job, Andy.
Thank you.
Oh.
Horatio. Moment of silence for Horatio.
Fuck him.
He's dead now.
Is he dead?
Yeah. Also, Patrick Swayze is too.
Yeah.
That might be the actual reason why we don't see anymore. Moment of silence for Patrick Swayze.
You idiot.
Oh, sorry. Octopuses are usually very antisocial, but when they're under the influence of ecstasy, they are more willing to spend time around others, even hugging other octopuses.
Oh, they're on ecstasy. Now, how did they get the ecstasy? I wonder.
I think that must have been some kind of an experiment, if I had to guess.
You don't hear about ecstasy. Remember, it was kind of a...
It was a thing.
Yeah, quite a while ago. It was all... people used to rub themselves down in potion.
I had a little weed. That was the extent of my drug experimentation. I can't say that I was.
So you wouldn't be getting any hugs from any octopus.
No.
Maybe a palata puss.
He sweats milk. He sweats milk, and that's gross.
Sweats milk.
So if provided with a mirror, dolphins will admire their own genitals. I think that's true of all of us.
It depends on the angle.
That's very important.
Yeah.
There's some angles nobody should ever see.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with that.
So, a bee sting to the penis can enlarge it permanently.
Well, fuck.
Out there, harvesting bees without pants on.
Oh, man, I have to start raising them suckers. Poking in a hive, like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh,
never mind.
Well, you'll thank me later.
Mind your business.
Hide the Benadryl. It's gonna be a good one.
It's illegal to own just one guinea pig in Switzerland. It's considered animal abuse because they're social beings and they get lonely.
Picture the sad one, like.
Picture the person getting arrested for that.
Oh man, I didn't know. I really didn't know. Picture the guy telling people in jail with like 5 other people why they're there.
Right?
Stole a car. What'd you do? I had a 2-year-old hamster. Sad. Who knew?
I didn't know. People are more creative in the shower. When we take warm shower, we experience an increased dopamine flow that helps us be more creative. So right now, our listeners are hoping that I start writing the show while I'm showering, as opposed to the first 11 episodes.
I think there's other ways that dopamine could be experienced without the shower, but we'll go with it.
And lastly, pigs can't look up into the sky. The anatomy of their spine and their neck muscles limits their movement, and it takes away their ability to look up.
Oh, wow.
The more you know.
Yeah, I mean,
we need that graphic.
You know, next time you see a pig, I'm like, sorry about that, buddy. It's a beautiful day. Tough Miggies for you, I guess. Look at them clouds; they're beautiful.
Pig's just like, fucking asshole. I know I can't. You know I can't look up. that one looks just like you.
Ooh, no, but they got cannibalistic tendencies for that reason.
I'll just have to take your word for it. Oh yeah, they do. They do. One of the I might get the wording wrong, but the gist of it I'll get right. One of the that I didn't include was that pigs aren't naturally cannibalistic, but once they eat a person, they'll start to crave it more than their food. Yeah.
I seen one eat a live chicken. It was gross. Well,
wow, that would be kind of gross.
It was gross. Well, I didn't see it actually kill it, but it was chomping it. Yeah, it was gross. It was gross. But that pork would taste a little like chicken. It's a happy little medley.
Yes. I watched my wife's cat kill a bunny rabbit. It was disturbing.
Oh no! See, I love bunnies.
I just like, oh look, there's a cat and there's a bunny. Next thing you know, the cat's on top of the bunny and it just grabbed it and it snapped its neck. And I was like, that cat just killed that bunny. And they're like, oh yeah, he's kind of an asshole like that.
That's a sad twist to the show, Andy. I love bunnies.
Sorry.
I hate your cat. Do you still have the cat?
It lives at her parents' house.
We'll be taking care of that.
Yeah. On that note, good night, everybody. Yeah. So,
Andy, if you had a rabbit, what would you name it?
Bun Bun.
Bun Bun.
I don't know. Just comment. Yeah. How about you? You had a rabbit.
Yeah. Remember Sydney?
Sydney was great because you'd stand there and Sydney would just run circles around your feet.
Yep. They make noise.
Yep.
Should have never ate Sydney. No, we couldn't.
Well, we had pet geese that we did eat at my parents' house, and they were pure evil. And I
think
never
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. Well, they were evil because of my sister. She used to go out and torment them and kick at them and got to the point where they were just pissed off and angry and they would chase me because I was just a little kid at the time and they would chase. I would like afraid to go outside because of the geese would like come after me.
Mean sons of bitches.
Batting their wings and then one day one of the geese attacked my dad and that was the end of the geese.
Yeah, huh?
And I can't tell. I never enjoyed eating something as much as I enjoyed eating those fucking geese.
You carved the roast geese.
Who's chasing who now, asshole?
Catch
I actually don't remember anything about the geese other than we ate one of them. I don't think we ended up eating the other one, but yeah.
And you pooped it out. You ate it and pooped it out. So you got double revenge.
Yeah, twofold.
Double revenge.
Yep.
Good for you, Andy.
Yeah. So if so now PETA will be coming after us.
Yeah, PETA. Did you name the geese? Do you remember the goose's name?
Frig and Goose.
Which one did you eat?
Frig. I don't know. Together they were Frig and Goose.
Friggin' Goose.
Friggin' Goose.
One way or another. So you ate one. Well, how'd you dispose of the other?
I don't remember. I was a kid. I was a little kid.
Maybe your cat killed it.
It actually adopted one of our cats. We had a cat that was like a wild cat, and we just fed it, and it didn't want to come in the house or anything, but we called it Mama Cat because we were really creative, and it kept having litters. And one of the kittens used to follow the geese around, and it eventually thought it was a goose. It even went out into our little pond and stuck its head under the water and did like geese do.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're lying.
No, it's true. And the geese liked it. The geese didn't like anybody, but it liked that kitten.
Huh.
Yeah.
You had a little storybook thing going on there.
A little heartwarming if you didn't know that how the story ended.
And you touched yourself inappropriately.
Yeah. Yeah.
While you peered out the window at the geese.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of I won't even go into that. So I have an announcement, Len. Yeah, I do have. I have an announcement.
Ooh.
Yes. No, I don't want to oversell this announcement.
Oh, no.
So I will just say that it's the biggest announcement in the history of announcements. And yeah, there it goes. Yeah.
Ooh. Beginner.
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
Lay it on me.
In the year 2026, Ames department store is coming back.
Ames.
Ames is coming back.
Ames. Wow. Did they ever go completely out?
Yes, they did.
Ames.
They're going to open up 35 more stores. They didn't announce locations or anything, and they're going to have a online sales stuff too.
Ames.
Ames is
Remember
coming
Ames
back.
in Canton? Ames.
I do.
Spent a lot of time in Ames.
Yeah. Well, last time I was in Plattsburgh,
and
that was probably 10 years ago. But there's the Ames building and the sign are still there. And I always, every time I drove by, I was like, oh, I think I'll stop at Ames and pretend to pull in. Yeah, that was my running gag. Yeah.
Ames, huh?
Ames is, that wasn't really my announcement, though. No.
Oh.
So sorry.
That was kind of exciting. Now you got to top that.
The real announcement. I'm gay.
Hey, for he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow.
You know how many people that we went to school with were like, I knew it.
That's
no
son of a bitch.
No, I'm not really gay.
I liked you better when you were.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. And it's not making fun of or anything like that. It was just my bad attempt.
We have some really close friends that are gay, actually.
Yeah, I do too. And actually, sorry. That also not my announcement.
Oh, that's getting better. But you're gonna have to top it off again. Ames and the false advertisement of your preferences.
I will be moving my studio into my unfinished basement.
Well, how do you do?
Because we're having another baby.
Oh,
and the other baby is going to need this room.
So you're in the baby's room.
Yeah, I'm in the future to be the baby's room. That's my announcement is we are having baby number 2.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice. Now, how long before you find out what it is in there? Do you want to know?
I found out this morning.
Oh, no.
I did. We're not sharing that yet.
Oh, you idiot.
It's more than likely either a boy or a girl.
Well, it narrows it down anyway.
Yeah.
You're not shutting us completely out.
Huh. Yeah, so
you're not sharing that yet?
Not yet.
What's the matter with you people? You
I just found out myself.
Now.
Found out.
Okay. So you're not, I guess I can't even ask you. Are you surprised? Are you?
Well, no, I figured it was one or the other.
Yeah.
And
it is. It's one or the other.
It is. Yeah, I was right in that regard.
Now, wait a minute. I see you almost got like a little pink bannerage going on there.
No, there's blue up in this corner here.
Oh.
Yeah, if you look up here, or maybe it's here on here. But
it'll be exciting. Blue. It'll be exciting to know. I'm excited for that future information. Are you going to share, you think, or are you going to wait till the comes out?
Yeah, we'll share. We'll share. And we'll just have to discuss it a little. We haven't talked about it at all because we just found out this morning. So
now, will you name it
genetic testing? Yeah, no. Vladimir if it's a boy, and Vladimir if it's a girl.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It must have been a debate.
Yeah,
you could have went with either.
Yeah, we decided to go with Vladimir though.
Yeah,
that's the old joke from Arthur.
Vladimir or Cap'n. You can name him Horatio.
Name him
Ooh, Horatio Cap'n.
Ooh, Horatio. Even if it's a girl, I like that.
We had a friend with her last name Baker, and when they had his first kid, they were like contemplating. We're all sitting around the living room, and I was like, "Name him Cake."
Nice,
Cake Baker.
I like that.
They went with something worse than that.
It should have been cake. You can't go, and everybody loves cake. So I mean, everybody will love that kid.
That's what I mean.
Now the kid's not well liked.
No, nobody likes him. He's a fool.
Yeah, nobody likes him. Nobody likes him.
And he tastes horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the first. So we follow this app called The Bump, and it was and it tells you like every step of the way. Every day I get a notification saying your baby is this many, or is this size. And anyways, it goes through and it has lists of like possible names. And when my daughter was before she was born, the first name that popped up was Rohan. And so I kept saying, we're going to name her Rohan. And I referred to her as Rohan right up to the minute that she was born. And which my wife did not like at any point. Did she ever go, I love that idea. Oh, that's funny. No, or it was mostly, stop saying that.
Could have named her. You could have called her Roro. Mm-hmm. I've heard of Roros.
But I always said, trust the bump. Trust the bump.
You ever notice some people name their kids and then they nickname them right out of the gate? It's like, well, what'd you name them that for if you're going to call them that? Anyways, stupid. I find it stupid. And especially when it's a horrible name. Mm-hmm. And then they nickname them. We're going to call it so-and-so. It's like, well, then why didn't you call it so-and-so anyways? Or now they mix names. You got and I won't say any because I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like, just name them. Name them.
As somebody that has to create usernames for some of these kids now.
Oh, yeah.
I curse so many people.
They got to misspell them. And
it's got to have a unique spelling.
How many different ways you're going to spell Philip? Like, shut up and spell it.
Exactly. How many kids need a hyphen in their first name?
Come on. How about the people that you used to know? Like we did our little abbreviation with our names just for this, but you ever notice like a lot of people go with the middle name thingy like later on in life? It's like, if you, I don't know, you see them and it's like, yeah, so-and-so. It's like, I don't remember Sally Sue. Mm-hmm. You go with the Sue. Like once they're like out of high school for 5 years, they become Sally Sue. And it's like, I see a lot of that lately. It's like, really? You went with that?
Back in the day, I flirted with, and it didn't take, and I'm glad that it didn't, but I flirted with going by Drew because my name is Andrew.
Yes.
But I was always Andy. And I thought, what if I was Drew?
Oh, that's a tough. Yes. Man, start telling new people that you're Drew.
Yeah, I'm glad. A, I didn't try very hard, and B, I'm glad that it didn't take because.
Yeah. P.U. Drew. P.U. on the Drew.
P.U. Drew. Yes.
I don't like it. I would have had to slap you.
And I don't, as somebody that doesn't like being slapped, I'm glad that never happened.
That was perfect. Like what did they? I knew a fella, and we won't say the name. Tried for many years to nickname himself, and then we worked somewhere together, and it was like he was forcing it, and it was horrible. I was like, why, no? And one guy fell into it. I was like, and every time he called him, I was like, oh, in the background thinking, no.
Yeah, this was person that ended up with 2 letters, right? That was the nickname. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a hard push. Yeah, it was a hard push. Really wanted people to call him that, and no.
He found one old geezer to do it, and he's dead. Now he's dead.
Oh, okay. Well. So
in the long run, it panned out for everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
and he never did turn into the 2 letters. Very short lived. And I was like,
I do remember that was like a full court press to please call me this. And this is it. Started telling new people that they met.
If you're a BJ because you got the initials or something, it's more. But I don't know. My thing is usually let nicknames be natural. You get a nickname and it's doable.
First of all, you can't give yourself a nickname.
No, you can't.
Remember, we had, and I'm not afraid to use this one because we basically everybody knew him by nickname. But remember, we had Bubba.
Bubba, yeah, what an idiot.
Bubba gave himself the nickname and insisted that everybody called him Bubba.
And he was the furthest thing from a Bubba that you've ever seen in your life. He was a Bubba Blinn idiot.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a Bubba.
And I just kept saying, you don't give yourself a nickname. That's not how it works.
And that's what happens when you self-nickname. It's horrible and people dislike you.
Yes. That's not why I disliked him for a lot of reasons, but no. But not that one. No.
We won't say the joke, but remember the joke he told in the break room that time that broke every human resources etiquette you could imagine?
I was his boss, and I failed everybody because he told me this joke within 5 minutes of knowing him on his first day. It wasn't during the interview or anything like that. But when he showed up to work for the first day, he goes, hey, I got a joke for you. And then he reeled it off. And I was like, I do not get offended. And I'm a little grossed out right now. Yeah.
We can never repeat it. But
I did. I was like, do not ever say that joke on this premises again.
And he did. He did it in the break room in front of a mixed men, women, and I think everybody in there was just like,
Could have fired him on the spot.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. Anybody
we would have missed out on some good stories though.
And we won't bore anybody with it. There were some
so,
a bumbling fool that made us, and we almost watched him die, and that was priceless.
Thought he was dying. We're like,
he was having a heart attack in front of us. Like, we loved it.
Talking away. And he goes, and we're looking.
Let's go. He's going down.
Is this really happening?
Yes.
We were really seriously rooting for this guy.
We were like, his coffee.
I'm all right. Well, it turns out he had a massive heart attack, and we were watching, and he had to go. He had to go like a week later and get like quadruple bypass surgery.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. I would have loved. Imagine if we were able to peek through the window as he was having it. Ding, 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 ding. He is. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that would have been nice. Oh well.
I have very quickly a couple of stories. One of them is running related, which I have my half marathon this weekend. I am so not ready for this. So there's that. But first, before I get to that one, in funny news, a student persuaded his friend to get his legs amputated, telling him that he could get a $1.3 million insurance payment if he did this. The guy that amputated his legs ended up getting $7,200, and now he has to return that money because it was a scam. Not a very bright guy. They're in Taiwan. He had his legs amputated. Criminal investigation led to details that the man soaked his feet for 10 hours in dry ice to get frostbite. Then the medical staff thought something looked strange. During the story that he told, he said that he rode around Taipei on a motorbike at night wanting to present the claim that he was afflicted with frostbite. Problem was, it was 42 degrees outside, and he had boots on.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
what an idiot.
Actually, his legs bore no shoe or sock marks, and the injury was, you could see it. It looked like, the doctor said it looked like he had been soaking his feet in something, not like organically how it would look if he had actual frostbite. So,
somebody gave you $10 million, $500 million. What are you going to do with it with no legs?
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of things, you could pretty much pay me to do just about anything. But I'm not going to mutilate myself, other than mutilating myself.
I could see a finger or something.
Right? Yeah. Not my legs.
His legs. Oh, yeah. We might have went to school with a few people that were that smart.
There might have been some people we went to school with that we could have gotten to do this. Yeah.
Boy, I thought we were bad. Hey, I got something to tell you.
I mean, Len could talk me into just about anything or fool me into doing just about anything. And the funny thing is, I'm a very skeptical person, but for some reason, he was always able to trick me. And
you'd look pretty decent without legs.
You think so?
And you wouldn't have to chase the kids around.
Oh, that's a good point. Hey, you think I should do it?
Well, you know what? It's not a bad idea.
Maybe I should. Maybe,
I'll leave it up to you.
Maybe I could get some insurance money for it if I made it look like an accident.
Couple mil at least.
Really?
Think what you could do. You could put both kids through college. No problem.
Oh.
Do it.
All right.
I could help you.
All right. Let's do this.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yes. And again, a running related story. A woman pooped her pants halfway through a marathon, and she continued to run with the turd in her shorts until she crossed the finish line because she was trying to achieve her personal record or break her personal record.
Hooray!
To keep up her pace. Well, okay, so to keep up her pace, a lady named Tamara Torkelson relieved herself midway through a marathon. She said she doesn't regret it. She ended up beating her best time, and she was only 13 months postpartum.
Huh.
Which my wife
turd
deserves a ton. She didn't poop herself. She deserves a ton of credit because she ran a half marathon last year being 6 months postpartum. And that was very impressive.
Was there a turd involved?
There was no turd. Not that she admitted to anyways.
Well, yeah. You don't ask either. If they share.
No. Yeah, if they share. Yeah, I wasn't going to ask her.
Turd. Say turd. Say turd again.
Turd.
Perfect.
Yes. Running can trigger the bowels for a few reasons, but most runners handle the urge differently. That was actually said that in the story. After having her first child, Torkelson, who was then 31, was fueled by a sort of new mom energy. Some runners say they become faster after giving birth. So
you drop a turd, lighten the load a little bit.
This marathon was called the Mountains to Beach Marathon, which starts in Ojai, California, and ends at the city of Ventura, which is west of Los Angeles. And it would have been her first postpartum race, and she thought she could set a personal record. But at mile 13 or 14, she realized she needed to go to the bathroom, and she didn't want to lose physical or mental momentum by stopping. I thought, I don't know if it's possible. This is what she said, her quote. I don't know if it's possible to poop while running, but I'm going to try. And I didn't want to stop to poop to mess it all up. I will say as a runner, once I stop, I'm a rhythm runner. So once I stop, it throws me off. And so I get it, but I'm probably not going to poop my pants.
Somebody or some buddies ran behind her at one point or another while the so-called turd was bouncing around in there. Mm-hmm. Or did it make its way out? Which means it was there to visit everyone that passed on by. She
says without stopping, she relieved herself into the built-in underwear in her shorts, which a lot of running shorts. I have a pair of running shorts that have built-in underwear. Holds my cell phone. Yeah, has a little pouch for my cell phone.
Put it on vibrate.
Yes. And it's funny, my earbuds will read my texts to me. So, which I mentioned before, that last week when you text, a couple weeks ago.
So when's this thing start Saturday? I'll give you a little.
I actually don't know that. I got to look that up. I think it's probably around 9:30.
You're getting a text from.
No, it'll say Lenny Blake says.
I'm gonna say too.
So
don't forget the turd.
So let me see. She said she did this. She said she had to focus, and she continued on her way. It just came out, and I felt a lot better. She also doesn't think anybody noticed, and she said that she didn't give a shit if they did. She said marathoners don't judge. Oh, I'm going to disagree.
Oh, they judge.
Most marathoners are very supportive people, but there are dicks. At the beginning of these runs, there's always a chance that it would be very easy to get trampled because
dick shapes
and they're dick shaped. Yes.
Perfect.
Yep. Perfect. I was on a bus. So a lot of times you get shuttled, you get to a meeting point and they put you on a bus and you get shuttled to the start because they want your vehicle to be at the end. I had a dude stand on my foot on the bus.
Oh, perfect.
And he knew it was obvious he was standing on my foot. And I actually looked at him. I was sitting and he was standing. And he just walks over. He stands on my foot. And I look up and down. I'm looking at my foot. And I'm looking at him. Finally, I'm like, Dude, are you serious? And he just did not acknowledge me. He wouldn't look at me. He wouldn't ever. He just continued to stand on my foot. And it's like there are a lot of runners that are like that.
I'm a pretty laid back cat, but that would probably get me a little like, I should punch this guy right in his ding dong right now.
If it wasn't so ridiculous, because I mean it wasn't funny like haha, it was funny like annoying, but it was also very ridiculous. So I was kind of like laughing about it.
That's something Captain would do. Horatio would have done
Horatio, that. Captain Horatio Magellan Crunch would do that.
Whew, he lost a lot of ground with that. But the Crunch Berries.
The Crunch Berries, which he didn't like the Crunch Berries.
Yeah,
they were forced on him.
He's Horatio.
Yes. I think that's pretty much all I had on this story, other than she said that she quickly ran into the porta potty and cleaned herself up with baby wipes that she had tucked in her pouch. Oh, she did yell, "I pooped my pants," as she was crossing the finish line. Yeah.
Imagine if somebody just tackled her.
Can you imagine?
I pooped my, I don't know.
I've mentioned this before. Running is, there are so many signs. I mean, you see people on the side holding up signs, and so many of them are about pooping.
Why wouldn't you say I did it, or hooray, or yay, or finally? But no, I pooped my pants.
Yeah. Later in the story, it did say that an expert weighed in and said that running does trigger that because your organs are jostling around and stuff. But
the expert knows. He knows. There's an expert on it.
There's an expert on. No, it's a gastrointestinal expert.
Well, in her defense, in Pamela's defense, she pooped her pants.
I know people though that have had to stop to poop mid-run.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. I've had to stop to pee, but
yeah, I can see like if you're on a long jaunt, you gotta squiz one out. But poop.
I've had to pee. I think I've had to pee on every long run.
You stop and think. All the ATVs and stuff we rode and bounced around on.
Never shit my pants.
Yeah, I never had to pull over a dirt bike and be like,
yeah. Oh, had rode 4-wheelers from the time I was 8 till I was 16.
You never pooped.
Never even had a close call.
The last episode, you tried to beat around the bush that you've never pooped outside. I'll never forgive you for that.
I don't. We talked about this afterwards. I can't confidently say that I did. I say I probably did, but I not that I recall.
Okay.
I don't know. Now, and if I don't like to lie, so if I said yes, I did, just to not get picked on by Len, then I croak and I go up to the pearly gates and they're going down through everything I've done wrong, which is a pretty long list, probably much longer. Yeah. Oh, what about this here, where you said you didn't poop outside, or said that you did poop outside? It doesn't show that you pooped anywhere.
You're going to hell, son. You were on your 4-wheeler, like you said. And you jingled around, and you had to pull off behind a round bale of hay, and you pooped.
Mostly swamps. We're mostly in swampy areas.
It happened, Andy. That lady crossed the finish line after an accomplishment, and instead of saying, "I did it," she yelled, "I pooped my pants."
Some of the marathons, they announce your name as you cross the line.
Here comes Sally.
I
pooped my pants.
Yeah. And there's people taking pictures and stuff.
Before we end,
yes.
when I was a little Duffy, we went to Wildwood, New Jersey as a family. And I'll never forget it. We're having breakfast at this hotel restaurant or whatever. And I must have overheard my dad or somebody say, "Somebody let one go," or farted or something. I don't remember how I overheard it. So this is where I was evolving into the role model.
Seems like something you would normally let go.
I wasn't the culprit, but what I did as a young lad, I was probably well under 10, like we're talking like 6-ish, probably just a little Duffy. I took it upon myself in front of everybody in the whole establishment. This is when I was molding myself. And I stood on a chair and I announced through the whole restaurant, "Somebody passed gas." I yelled it. I wanted everybody to know. And I do remember looking at everybody at my table, my family, and they were mortified.
I was gonna say,
My parents kind of we were kind of funny family anyway. But yeah, I just remember it was like silence. I just sat back down and started going to town.
No, nobody told you to get down or to stop or anything. You didn't get in any trouble for it or anything.
Yeah, because I overheard them say it. So I just stood up and I thought I'd tell everybody that somebody passed gas. And I announced it and I just sat back down and started eating whatever it was we were eating. And I just remember looking around the table like, what? What?
I believe every word of that story.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I do. I don't have any trouble picturing that.
Nope, it happened, and I'm glad it did. So we could end on that.
Yeah, so that's our show. Yeah. No,
that was fun, Andy.
That was fun, and I will post it on our webpage that nobody goes to when the race starts. If anybody's in the area and they want to see me cross the finish line, maybe we'll do a gender reveal as I cross the finish line. If somebody hands me one of those tubes that throws the smoke up in the air, I'll just cross the finish line and maybe we'll do something like that.
Just full of fart spray. Who cares what it is? Who cares? Get them out of here.
Roadhouse, best movie ever.
Fucking Roadhouse. They could have named it The Boring Bouncer.
The Boring Bouncer was the best movie ever about bouncing. So that's our show. Thank everybody for watching. Again, we'd love to hear from you. So throw some comments in there.
We could do another viewer mail pretty soon because we have been getting some of that. So
we could do a viewer mail, and we could tell us what you think.
Or Q&A, viewer mail and Q&A.
I've toyed with the idea of a live show. If anybody would, we could throw details out there and be like, we're going to go live at this time, whatever. That is something we could do. Toyed with that idea.
That would be fun.
If anybody, had some live viewers that wanted to bounce questions off us in real time, but or just interact with us. But yeah, that's our show. Dalton and Mike and Ike's. Happy Easter.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Enjoy the eclipse this week week from today, which is April 8th. I think maybe it's one of those apocalyptic things. Maybe we'll all die. Cool.
Who knows? Yeah.
But yeah. So as I sign off, I'll say to drive fast, stay to the left. Never play leapfrog with the unicorn. And remember to always keep on keeping on. See you later, everybody.